Hi, and welcome to a. I'm putting together another mix. So this is DJ Penguino, obviously, and what you're seeing in front of you is a program called DJ.Studio, and this uses a whole bunch of AI and whatnot to arrange your mixes for you. And you can always do your own mix, but this allows you to do transitions. So, example, if you want to put a show together for a radio show or for a podcast, whatever, or like put on YouTube, then this might help out. So what I'm doing here is I have selected a few tracks, and I'm going to. There's the playlist. Let's go to. Let's go up here to carousel, and this is what I have in the playlist. So it allows you to see all the tracks that you have selected, and I got 16 total in this mix. So I'm just putting this to mix together as a demonstration on how this program works. And it's mostly new disco and a little bit of deep house and tribal house and a little bit of Detroit techno even in this one. So we're gonna go ahead and go to playlist, and here are all my tracks here from top to bottom. And they're not exactly in the order of harmonics and whatnot, but that's okay. We're gonna see what it all sounds like in a little bit. There's a library, and we'll go back to studio, and we see the tracks down here on the bottom again. Transition is where you go through. And for example, we'll zoom into this transition right here between the first track, which is It's On Tonight, and going into Alien Disco Sugar's remix of Up to the Sky. It's the Fly Robin Fly disco track from the 70s. It's been done as re-edit. So you zoom in here, you see all the waveforms and whatnot. You keep going further and further, you'll start seeing the bars, which show you if you're on the beat or not. Obviously, if these vertical lines do not match up with the beat, then obviously you're going to have to go through it and regrid everything. Of course, the AI function makes that pretty simple. So right here we have a transition going from one track to another, and we're going to play this track transition and see what it sounds like. Let's see, let's go back to bar 141. Or just, yeah, 141. Here it comes. Transition right now. Switching the bass on bar 9. Okay, we're mixing over to the second track. Okay, we're fully into track number 2. The first breakdown. So this is a good way for you to see song structure as well. So let's dissect this track right here. So obviously within the first 16 you have your basically it's a 16 bar intro, and we get to about the 21st bar we start to get into a dropout. Get the first breakdown, then we get back into the track again by bar number 25. Then we get another one right around number 41, another breakdown. So we have 4, 8, 12, 16. And in dance music, everything almost goes in eights. So when you have 8 bars of something, there's probably going to be 8 bars that come up that sound a little bit different, or it could build on the previous 8 bars. And this right here more or less looks the same. There's probably like a repeat between bar number 25 and bar number 33. And then we have about another, there's 4, 8, 12 bars of a break before we get back into the beats again. And then there's another little pause right here by 77. So we got a little bit of a break there. 4 bars. Another break there. And then one thing I usually do is right after the final break is about usually either 8 to 16 bars after the final break. I fade in the next track. So we're going to play this one as the program has it right now before I make any changes, and excuse me, and see what it sounds like and go from there. If there's too much of a drop of energy, I usually try to rearrange it. So let's listen to it. We're clearly in the outro. Okay, that dropped way too low. Okay, so the mix I don't particularly care for, and like I said, this program is pretty good for sequencing tracks, but the way it transitions sometimes, I don't like it. But I have it set to where it always fades in the next track on the first bar and not into the track or whatever. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to this final breakdown and listen to it. Let's see, let's go back to number 121. Final break. Okay, it's coming back. Looks like by 133 it comes back. Setting up. Okay, 135. So we're gonna listen to that again. We're gonna move the playhead back a little ways. Once we get to 135, we'll count the bars and whatnot. And I'm probably going to go about 8 bars over, or maybe 16 from 135, and see how it's going to transition. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so at 143, we're going to go ahead and move the other track back to 143. So this box right here is the transition box. So we're going to pull this little tab all the way back to 145. And then we're going to pull this one all the way back to where this lines up. And then looks like we're going to have the bass. Looks like we're going to have to use 16 bars of the previous bass line before we switch over to this one. We're going to do it on bar 17. And if I wanted to, I could pull this another 16 bars over. But we're going to listen to this first. And if I don't like the way it plays, then I'm going to go ahead and just pull this back a little bit more. And then the little technique I'll use. So let's go back to let's go back to 135 and start over. See what it sounds like. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, that track on top is taking a whole lot more time to mix in, so we're gonna go ahead and pull this all the way back to. I mean, it's like a long, long transition, or a long build up on this Dr. Packer track that's coming in. So we're gonna pull this back about another. Go ahead and get it. Okay, right here. We're gonna pull this box all the way back to beat or bar number 135 because it's such a long. I mean, we have like 16 bars of this track right here. It just takes it that long for it to get going. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this back to about 17. Be all right. That's 16 bars of the bass line, or all the bass frequencies for Alien Disco Sugar's track right here going into Dr. Packer's. So we're gonna do this again, see how it sounds. Final breakdown and coming up. The beat 135 starts back up. It starts the transition. Go. Okay, that sounded kind of weird. We have like one bar of kind of like some puny sounding bass. So we're gonna break a little bit of tradition. We're gonna move the bass over to bar 18. When it we're gonna get it up or whatever, we're gonna go ahead and solo this track and okay, right there is where we need to switch the bass over at. That big little pulse. So, like I said, I usually try to do it around the bar on bar 17 or bar number 9, whatever. But on occasion, by the way, how the song is arranged, I may break that. So it's not always one size fits all when it comes to those kind of things. So we're going to play this yet again. Here it is, the next one fading in now. Previous track is fading out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and over. Okay, that transition will work. Let's move on to the next. And we're not going to do all of the transitions. I'm just giving a demonstration on how I do this. Okay, well, it looks like we have another big energy drop right here. You see how this track right here, the square one, Square Biz remix by Dr. Packer, going into DC LaRue's Cathedrals, the Joy Negro, also known as Mr. Lee now. Going to that track, we see there's quite a bit of it's not really built up all that much. This is basically the intro, and it looks like we got about 20 bars of it. So let's listen to this transition. and go from here. We're going to go ahead and go all the way back to about 225 or so, or just before, and play that and see what it sounds like. We are clearly in the outro of the track. Okay, that right there is basically the outro. It's a little bit of a swell right here, and we start to taper down energy-wise. Just bass and percussion right now. You see the bass is gone. So yeah, the energy is totally dying. Okay, we're fading in the next one.
Up in there a little bit so you can hear it better. I'm playing the shit out of it.
That's kind of like a jarring transition, if you ask me. So, like I said, this program's not perfect, but it definitely does help when it comes to piecing together tracks. So, we're gonna go ahead and right here's the last breakdown of the track before we start getting to the conclusion, then the outro. So it looks like we come back in. That's a weird way of coming back in. It's not even on the beat, whatever, on the particular bar. So we're gonna go back to about 133 and play it.
What's your name, huh? Don't be too slick now.
Okay, look, sounds like the way it interpreted the song, it's got the bars off. So this right here would actually be a start of a phrase where she's singing "I'm talking square biz," and we're gonna go from there. So that would be what, bar number 142.3. So it's actually it's off by that. Okay, so we're gonna work around that. I could move the first beat. There's like a thing right here, a red and white, where it says set first beat. I could do that, but I'm just going to go ahead and just leave it. So this little phrase right here, I'm going to count probably 8 bars over from that, or maybe even 16. We'll go ahead and do 16 because I'm seeing kind of like the energy beginning to swell up right here as we get further over. So we're going to go ahead and count this one, beginning here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and stop. So right here, this would be looks like beat number 3, bar 158, whatever. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that other one back all the way to that. And zoom this in and make sure I get it right on the money. And I don't. It should be on that 3. Yeah, it's on the 3. I think right here is where the next phrase begins. So we'll go ahead and pull this one. we go. Okay, I'm gonna have to probably zoom in and make sure this is on the money, because it's not. And this track up here on top, I'll probably fade out early. So we'll go ahead and pull this one back. I'm gonna pull this low thing back first. And I'll adjust that a little bit later on. But I want like 16 bars of a mix over. So that's actually more like 30 something. Pull it back to 33, that's actually 32 bars. We're going to switch to bass on 17. See what that sounds like. Okay, we're going to go ahead and listen to this and see what it sounds like. There's vocals going into this, and they don't clash all that much. It sounds just a little bit busy, but I think I'm going to leave this transition alone. We'll go ahead and go to the next one. This will be the last one I'm going to do for this video. And like I said, we got another big energy drop, so we got this big outro. We got the number 8 marker right there, which probably I put that there to designate how many bars do I go over before I start mixing in the next track. So we're going to listen from that beat marker number 8, which is for my record box software. We're going to go from there and listen to the transition as it gets to it. So we're going in from the Cathedral remix to Scott M's Get Up. So we're going to go now. This one may have to play out for a while because it's kind of busy sounding. You have the stringed instruments and the bass and the percussion in the background, and it's kind of busy. So we may have to let this one play out before we fade it out some. right there is where it needs to go in. So we're going to go ahead and play that a couple more times to get her lined up real good. Okay, right here at, looks like 279. It's a long track, my goodness. So we'll go ahead and pull this back to 279. And pull this one back to where it lines up. And we'll probably switch to bass on 17. And we may have to pull this top one back a little bit more because it really dies off big time. So let's audition the track on top first. Let's get rid of that for now and listen to the full track. So far it's just a loop going over and over, so yeah, we can use that. Let it build. As you see by bar number 17 up here on top, we begin to get into the song and get now the outro, which is nothing more than just a 4-bar loop. Guess what other track used that particular that slide down and slide up? If you guessed Grooves in the Heart by Delight, you got the answer right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and switch to bass at since it's got a bass beat already, we'll go ahead and do it at 9. And also I want to pull this up and let it mix in a little bit louder. So, okay, we'll go ahead and turn the solo off and play this again. Okay, and now we're going to take this and pull this down to 17. So we get a 16-bar transition coming up. So we'll go ahead and go to about 273 or so and go.
They're in the streets, they could still cathedrals.
Okay, there's like a 2-bar 2-bar setup where there's no bass hits or anything. I'll leave that it be like just a little bit of a break for the dancers. So there's 2 bars and no boom boom bass beats. Then it goes back to the get up track after that. So yeah, it looks at these 2 bars right here. Okay, that transition will work. So another thing you can do is also take parts of the instrumental or whatever out of the track and remix if you wanted to. That little slide whistle thing, if I wanted to, I could pull that out and put it towards the beginning of the track if I wanted to. And we might could demonstrate that. We'll see. Okay, those two bars right here. So we're going to go ahead and select them. That's not what I wanted. We'll do it this way. Okay, now then, it gives you all kinds of options. You can loop it. So if you want to do this over and over, you could. Copy to sample lane, that basically just takes the whole thing and just. So we're gonna do we're gonna do instrumental and see what happens. So we'll go ahead and pull that. It's gonna do a little AI magic and see what happens. I don't think it worked. We're gonna do this instead. We'll go ahead and just copy the instrumental or copy the sample lane. So now you have this down here on the bottom. So okay, so I'll pull that out of there as a sample. We're going to take the sample and we're going to put it at the beginning of the transition. Okay. And we'll probably have to pull the volume down too, so that way it won't like jar the listener. But as I said, this program gives you the ability to remix on the fly. Okay, the tambourines and stuff were kind of clashy in this, so we're going to take that and make a few changes to it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and pull the highs down. Try this again. Yeah, that sounded pretty good. We'll go ahead. We're gonna duplicate that. We're gonna go ahead and pull this over to the transition or the bass swap. Okay, I don't want the treble to come through on that because it makes the tambourines a little bit too loud. So we'll do the same thing to this one and pull the EQ down. Okay. So what I wanted to do was pull some of the percussion, mainly the bass and the slide whistle, and put that right at the beginning of this transition, going into this track. So I'll drop two samples right here at the get-go. As Cathedrals fades out and this one fades in, we're greeted with these two samples right here, which set the stage for the next track. And this program just makes it so much easier to do things like that. Do like what I call teases, when you take take a phrase or whatever from the next track or several tracks in advance and then use that as a sample in another track. So if I wanted to, I could probably take a track way over here, far over, and take like a vocal sample and pop it over here on one of these other tracks. So it gives you the option to do all that kind of stuff. So this program is like there's so much power in this program. Once you get to learn how to use it, it can really, you can be very creative with it. But does this take the place of DJing live? Absolutely not. This is just another tool in your tool belt in order to create mixes and put your own spin on things, so to speak. Just like I did right here, I just dropped these two samples and I effectively just made a remix right there on the fly. So that's my little showing you how I use this program. I'm still learning how to do it, and there's a lot more for me to learn about this. And there'll be other videos of me demonstrating this program in the future. So I know this was kind of long and tedious, but I thank you all for watching and stay tuned for the next one.